Hello, this is me, and today we will be talking about the Westbound Art of War. If you don't know what Westbound is, it's a video game on Roblox, and so what was happening was it's basically turning into like Battlefield basically, and I just wanted to write about it so there could be a more organized way of doing things, if you get my meaning. So yeah. Anyways, the reason why most conflicts start in Westbound are because there's an excess number of members of a team in a specific area. Usually Tumbleweed, which is the main town in Westbound, or the Outlaws. I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Anyways, either the Cowboys or the Outlaws, which are the two rival teams, take hold of town and prevent the other team from making money, or Monopoly. Anyways, as this thing says, an outlaw can't rob the bank if there's people guarding it, and a cowboy can sell their trapping their skins if there's people just shooting up the place. And this is where people start off sieges or campaigns. Anyways, for it to work, somebody needs to take charge as the commander and has to announce the siege. Like here, oh, fuck, like here, Outlaws Cowboys. The other side has had a monopoly on the main town. You, someone has to announce this, and usually people will organize. This is the official way to do this, if you're wondering how to do this. So, yeah. Anyways, all battles start with charge. It's official. Well, no, not really official before this, but should be official now and pretty obvious in general. Charge, go, fight, kill everybody, stuff like that. I'm saying charge because it's pretty simple and universal of what it means. I mean, it's not like universal language, but it's pretty obvious. Anyways, yeah. There are three towns in Westbound: Tumbleweed, Stone Creek, and Grey Ridge. There's also a Fort Arthur, which is kind of important because it isn't also a safe zone, so you can get killed in there, unlike the other enemy forts or outlaw forts, but doesn't matter. Anyway, with Tumbleweed, it is located in the center of the map in the desert. There is literally nothing there. I know this says there's a hill, but that hill does not exist really. Anyways, the hill does not exist, as I said, but there are the train tracks, which are pretty important because it goes right through it. And as you can see right here in the background, those are the mines from Stone Creek. That's about all. Stone Creek, on the other hand, has a pretty important geography. As you can see in this picture, there's hills right there. There's a creek, as the name suggests, right there. And you don't see this, but right behind the camera is a gigantic mountain and mines and shit with very important materials and stuff. However, because it has the weakest bank in the game, rarely ever will there ever be a siege because it's not that important, arguably. Grey Ridge is the cowboy capital, or the northern state capital as I called it here. To the east of it is Fort Arthur, as you can. No, you can't, but this over here, behind that orange tree, is the Valley of Death. I'll show you on the map later, but it's fine. Anyways, you can climb the mountains to get here, but that's a very dumb way to do that. But, yeah. Conflicts with Grey Ridge are very, I don't know, very, poorly run because of the design of the town. It's pretty simply like designed town. However, it is like very like destructive because there's no safe zones under the northern state line, which I'll show you. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Here's how these layouts are gonna work. I'm gonna go explain the best strategies to do this. Okay, one of the most regular strategies to rob the bank as a cowboy is to go in. Over here is forecasted. You ride down and you hit the bank right here. Actually, maybe I can get a pen. Let me see this. You just get a. No, I can't. You know what? I'll just follow the mouse. I'm sorry, but anyways, depending on your main goals, if you're an outlaw, I'm gonna explain the outlaw strategy first. You mainly go over here or try to sneak over here. This is the main goal. You can enter from the mines, like over here, and run down over here and go behind the alley and sneak up. However, to open the bank, you need dynamite. It's a certified you just need it to open the bank vault, and then to get money, rob the bank. For the Cowboys, on the other hand, your main goal is to protect this area, specifically the bank, because you earn money for the sheriff to go here. So anyways, a good idea for a cowboy, defense plan, would have people on the roof. You can get there by using a horse and jumping on the roof right here and holding out. You can also hang out in the saloon. Anyway, this is the main point of interest. Remember, outlaws cannot use any of this other place. These other places are basically irrelevant to outlaws because you can rob them, but there's no point. Yeah. Station comes, of course, you can ride the train, but the train isn't really important. Maybe I'll talk about the train later, or maybe in the Haunted Mansion strategies, but yeah. Now here's an interesting one. To get into Stone Creek, the most obvious way is to go from Red Rock Canyon up here. You don't see the pathway, but the pathway is here, here, and then there's kind of a pathway over here. But these are not connected. Actually, fuck, I don't recall it. This area is not guarded, but it does have the most interestingly designed town. So you could enter from the mines, if you were attacking, could go from Tumbleweed. You can actually probably for all the towns go from one area and go from one area, flank them, surround them. That's a great strategy usually. It usually works out perfectly. That's when you circle a town in Westbound, it's almost a guaranteed victory for the attacking team. Now we have Great Ridge. Over here on the west gate, that's Valley of Death, and there's just nothing really. Well, no, there's Fort Arthur, but that's a different point. Anyways, you can ride your horses and shit. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, to rob Great Ridge, people usually go from Fort Arthur and ride around here because this is just open area and you'll just get shot at. Anyways, an outlaw would go around here, and just rob the bank. Because most people are distracted in Tumbleweed because it's just where you spawn automatically. But however, to conquer Grey Ridge, that is just impossible, really. Because everywhere here is obnoxiously massive. And yeah. Anyways, when you've taken an area from the enemy team as the Cowboys, you're just done. You win. You push them to the fort, they're done. They're not showing up anymore, and you've just made them either rage quit out of the game or you're just, waiting. However, on the Outlaws' hands, you have to announce for the Cowboys to change into passive mode to enter the town. You cannot prevent Cowboys from entering a town, but you can force them to change to passive mode, which is where they can't really attack or do anything, but they can still do business. That's all you really need to know. Here are the call signs. Charge, launch, and attack. You can use other examples for that. And circle is like surround the town. People. Another important part about Westbound Warfare is how to put this, but people should people act on their own, but for like an assault, they should try to act together ish on one hand. Like everyone should take charge on their own to go in a specific direction and try to avoid going in like the same general direction, especially when it's in circle. Like different areas to hit. Hit north, attack from north side, pretty obvious. Hit south, attack from south side. Hit east, hit west. These are pretty simple. All launch, which is, we'll go into rules later, but that's everybody hits here. And yeah, Grenadiers launch, I'll go into rules later, but these are different things, different specific rules you'll launch. Retreat, campaign failed. Occupation over, the campaign succeeded, and people will either pillage it into eternity or the outlaws left. So yeah. Here's the explanation. Anyway. I did have a line right here for Tradeland, but it's kind of obnoxious. All you really need to know is there's a difference between Southlands right here, which is just outlaw territory. No cowboys will enter this area really, because there's no point, and you'll just get shot at if you enter the Southlands if you're a cowboy, really. That's what I do. It's not really cruel anyways. Here, you don't see it right now, but this is where the mansion is. I'll go into mansion warfare maybe, like, later. Here is Tradeland. I didn't have another name to call it, but it's the desert, really. It's Tumbleweed. It's, like, the main center. Over here to the left is Stone Creek. Gray Ridge, Fort Arthur is the Valley of Death. I call it the Valley of Death because there's no safe zone, and if you go here, you're fucked, really. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm sorry to people like Fort Arthur. It's just terrible. It's good for like dueling other outlaws, but otherwise it's just terrible. Okay, now to explain rules. I know this isn't an actual National Guard thing. I'm just saying I'm sorry but it just was convenient. If you're hardcore and you want to actually like learn on prioritizing and you want to like be like very specific in what you're doing and like be professional-ish in this game, here's how it works. A grenadier is pretty simple. You're mainly used in bomb rushes. You spend all your money on dynamite and horses, and what you do is when you like rush into the town and you throw dynamite everywhere. Really, you like pre-fire it and then you fire it. Yeah. The cavalry, it's just the grenadiers, but like without it. You just go around specifically maybe with like lassos or maybe just with guns and you shoot people basically. And if there are no grenadiers, it is the cavalry's job to take their position with what dynamite they have. Groundies, people who go into specific buildings and clear them out. While the grenadiers and the cavalry are going like crazy everywhere, the groundies are going to specific buildings and killing people. They are arguably the most important. Snipers, they're usually not the most useful because like it's very like difficult to use a sniper in the game, but like otherwise a good sniper is like a really good sniper and is really important to the battlefield. It's also good to know that if you're an outlaw, you can still hurt other outlaws, so you should be really careful with how you fire, especially since sniper ammo is the most expensive. And also a fast shooting pistol like a Colt Lightning would be really nice in prioritizing. And before a siege, snipers should like scout the area and like, yeah, like snipers usually do. Here's a defensive strategy. Also, this may not. The goal of this video is to make like a meta around this game. These are just strategies I just think are pretty obvious and like, but otherwise, yeah, you can think of them yourself. Maybe even have teams of your own doing this stuff. Anyways, the defensive strategy, rush and gun. This is where you okay. For example, if somebody's attacking Grey Ridge, if a town like if Grey Ridge is getting attacked, you have some people spawn in the center of Grey Ridge, and you have other people heading down from Stone Creek, which is people in Grey Ridge will likely die. However, Stone Creek will easily get like backup and stuff, especially if they have like fast horses like the Arabians. But as this says, having the conflict spread to multiple towns leads to chaos, and that's not good. Because nothing happens in chaos, and everybody's just killing each other, and there's no organization, and there's no money being made in chaos. Encircle is an offensive strategy. It's pretty obvious. Encircle is, as I said earlier, where you go, there's a town, you circle it. This leads to an almost certain victory unless, like, it usually leads to, like, an encircling, and then another encircling, and then it keeps going and going until, like, people just quit. But, like, that's never happened, but I just thought of that now, so that might happen, but I don't know. As this says, you can... Okay. This was pretty, like, stupid because I wrote this, and it was, like, it sounds very, like, edgy, but all I have to tell you is that there's no way for you to take over multiple towns, like, completely. You can only completely take over one town. Like Tumbleweed. People will always go to other towns. There's nothing you can do to prevent that. Chaos, as I described earlier, no money made, nobody plays, nothing happens. Unless you're in Westridge Quarry, yeah, nothing happens in chaos. Maybe we should add this as a code, but you all can just, like, talk about this yourselves among your, yeah. That's it. Anyways, that's all, folks.